What do you have you ever thought of, or do you have an opinion on people with whether it's academic backgrounds or invested interest to explore modern contemporary runic systems? For instance, I know of somebody who recently developed, and I don't know how long it took them to develop this, but I know that it was a long time. Like, it wasn't just something that they came up with overnight. An American Futhark, for the reason of writing in like modern English, let's say, because one of the one of the one of the big things that happens nowadays is people are using Elder Futhark runes to write modern English
Yeah.
words. And there's so many opinions around this. It's, you can't do that because, first of all, those runes were used to write in a Proto-Germanic language that predates the Old Norse language. You first have to translate the word that you're trying to say in English into an
Old
Old
Norse.
Norse word, and then, whatever. And then you technically should be using the younger Futhark instead of the elder, because they're the runes that were used to write in Old Norse, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sure you've heard.
Yeah.
So what do you think
Uh,
about people coming up with a contemporary system of American or whatever modern day Futhark runes for the purpose of not just writing modern languages in, but also to explore their maybe magical or esoteric properties?
I personally have no problem with that, and the reason for that is that if you look, we have the Elder Futhark, and the Elder Futhark is not the only Futhark that has been used. That was used for 200 years, and then somebody said, that's not really what we want anymore. We're cutting some. This is an oversimplification, but slowly the system of the Elder Futhark, grew out. We lost a few runes, and we had the younger Futhark system. And then after a while, Latin came, and people were like, "Yeah, oh, we also want to write these Latin words, and we don't have the sounds for it, so we're just going to add some new runes to it again." So, historically speaking, there's precedent for changing your runic alphabet to fit the needs that you have as a society at that time. And if we look at the inscriptions that we have, it's also sometimes a hodgepodge of a little bit of Latin and a little bit of Norse and a little bit of, it's not like the runes were only used to write in one language and only one language. They were used, especially at least the Futhark and the younger Futhark, they were used to write several languages. And then also people used wildly different grammars, and some things that we think are maybe random, maybe they have a grammatical reason, but most bind runes just seem to be because there was not enough space left on the page or on the piece of stone, and then it's like, smoosh, and now
Right.
it's two runes as one rune. So I don't think that the people who originally used the runes were too bothered about what runic alphabet you were using, and if you're writing in the right language, and if you were using exactly the right formula. So I don't think we should be either.